by a bumbling old time machine, Dirk begins the rescue mission. Once the casket of doom has opened, Mordroc will place the death ring upon Daphne's finger in marriage, and she will be lost forever in the Time Warp.
Like full of dark work. This town is beautiful. Not anymore, crushed in dark soul.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, everybody?
IiRcadians assemble.
How's that for last second, you guys? Did I get you panicked? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And we got one more last minute edition.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
You ain't the only one driving, Jeff. I'm driving too.
Man, I didn't want to have to come down south today, but I got stuck driving down south, and I got stuck down here, and I'm like, I gotta get home. I'm 2 hours away from my house at this point, so
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not. There's no way I'm making it back for the show. I feel so bad.
Let's wing it.
Hey, stuff happens. It's all right.
Yeah, we got this. We got this.
We got
They
this. We
let
got
me in the
herbivores
doggy
in
door.
the chat.
It smells like CT Jason, though. Ugh.
What happened? I'm trying to look at the screen and look at my GPS, but I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, let's just try not to get in any car accidents while we do this. You've been traveling everywhere, though, CT. Where you been at this week?
Where have I not been at is the question. I've been in a lot of places. I seen the Batman movie not so long ago. It was pretty
I heard you were in it.
What?
I heard you were in that movie.
Yeah, there he is.
Right there. That's good.
Yeah, I'm in the boondocks. I can barely hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
That's good.
Yeah, come back to me in a minute. I'm in a bad service area.
All right.
We're so ragtag today. I'm sorry, everybody. We're all over the place here, but I don't have any notes, so I don't know what's going on. I forgot everything from. We usually get together and kind of talk the day before, just go over what are we going to talk about on the show, but I don't even remember. I got no notes. I'm literally driving, so you guys are going to have to help me out here.
All right. Well, I got this. So I got my old trusty notes right in front of me. So
we have some new games this week. I know that.
Yes, there are some new games. And CT Jason is in one of them there, as you guys can see.
He's a playable character. I heard he's a good character.
Yeah, he is a good character. And
that's me.
Oh, that's me.
Why is your laughing? What's so funny?
Because we leave you out of all the jokes, and then you see it for the first time on the show, and you're like, "Hey, that's me."
Let's say hello to some people in the chat. We got Herb Wars here, Gamers Effects, Punk Rock Dave, Brooklyn Menace, Made in Canada, Mitchell B,
C. Gen 10's in the chat too, I believe.
Yes, he's one of the favorites.
And but in case you guys have been living under a rock, I'm sure you guys saw that Rastan Warrior Blade Rastan 3 was released for the iiRcade, and there were all sorts of videos about it released, and we made one that the four of us actually collaborated on, and we went super in depth, and we really went all out for you guys. So if you haven't checked that out on the channel, go ahead and check that out. But we'll give you guys a quick little snippet of Rastan 3 Warrior Blade here right now.
Warrior Blade Rastan Saga Episode 3 is an arcade beat-em-up game released by Taito in 1991. It is a weapons-based brawler, similar to Sega's Golden Axe. Its main feature was the use of dual screens to depict the action. It was launched in Japanese arcades only, and never was released as an arcade game in North America. iiRcade will launch the arcade-authentic version of Warrior Blade.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
This is Papa Brad. I'm going to talk about Dewey, the ninja character in Rastan 3, Warrior's Blade. Dewey is a ninja. He's very fast, doesn't have a lot of power, but he does have daggers, and he has ninja swords. As you go through the game, you get to see all kinds of cool things as you play as Dewey. Hey look, what's that skull? Oh no, it's a monster! Get him! Check out this dude. He's gonna turn into a sea monster. This is some crazy stuff. This game is filled with fantasy elements. If you like fantasy adventure, this game is for you. You like snake plant monsters? This game's got them in droves. How about crazy horseback battles? I love this game. Just kept surprising me with all the different places it was taking me. 1 minute I'm on a horse, I'm jumping over logs and fighting hand to hand. Next minute, this guy could have been in Game of Thrones, sitting on the king's throne, and before you know it, you got the Ray Harryhausen skeletons popping up, and you're in a full-on skeleton battle. Then you're flying on a dragon. I mean, this game just throws theme after theme of high fantasy at you. Very fun game. Highly recommend this one. How about this one? Check out this crazy fire skull monster. And another dragon. Just, falling down the hill, you gotta keep playing. Some wizards.
A wizard?
That frightens you. You're afraid of magic. And you will have to deal with it.
What good is a sword against sorcery?
This game got a lot of wizards that you kill. Check out that. How cool is that effect? The tide rolling in with the sea monsters in it. I mean, this game is just filled with all kinds of fantasy images. Reminds me of the best Conan comic book. It's filled with high fantasy art and craziness. Definitely check this game out, and check out Dewey. He's a cool ninja.
Crom, I've never prayed you before. I have no tongue for it.
So, what did I think of Warrior Blade Rastan Saga Episode 3 for the iiRcade? I'd say it's a really solid beat-em-up. If you like this genre, you're probably going to like this game. I will remind you that the game will be presented in the letterbox ratio, so if that bothers you, that's one thing to consider. I'll give this game a solid 9 out of 10. All right.
That was nice.
Warrior Blade.
And,
Tony, I can see your comment. I know what you're... We're all over
What
the
was
place.
that?
I don't know.
I gotta say, okay, so Tony, can you guys hear me okay? So,
yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So Tony, I'm down in Kent, so he's the only one that knows where that's at, probably. But I'm on my way home. I'm a couple hours away. Don't make fun of my Prius, okay? Look, I had to come down to Auburn today, and it's not fun. It's a long drive. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Let me just say that. Can I?
The show must go on.
Okay, so that was a really cool Rastan thing, but can I point out we did I think it was it about 11 minutes or 12 minutes that we did a kind of a collaboration one together.
Yeah.
And it had stuff from like me, Brad, CT Jason, Mikey J. We all like put something together. And I feel like everybody dropped a video at the exact same time about Warrior Blade, and it kind of got lost in the mix. But it was a really good video, I think. So I know I'm self-serving to plug our own video, but I thought we did a dang good job on that review video.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't see that, go check that video out.
Yeah,
it's really good.
You basically caught the Papa Brad cut there with just Papa Brad's contributions. So you still gotta go watch the full version if you want to see CT, me, and Jeff. Additions to the video for sure.
Well, hold on a second. There's also a CT Jason cut too.
Mm-hmm.
I did one myself.
Yeah, that's right. There is a CT Jason cut. And I think Jeff, did you release some footage as well on Rastan 3?
No, I just what I gave to you that you put all in the one big video.
Yeah, okay.
I played it through with my daughter, which is really cool because she's a fan of Final Fight, and it's the same style, a beat 'em up style, which is what we're talking about today is beat 'em up.
Right.
She really likes them, and that I think it's a really good one for kids because it's not hard. It's not a hard game. No. And it keeps going. It keeps moving. It doesn't drag on. Like some of these beat 'em ups where the levels go on for like 5 or 10 minutes and it's the same people over and over and over that you're fighting. This one, they're like, it moves quick. You're right on the next level and you're going on to the next thing. And it kept her attention. She's 11 years old. It kept her attention through the whole thing. So it was, that's good.
Yeah, I agree. And since this is the big beat 'em up shows, there's different categories of beat 'em ups you can put out there. I mean, obviously they all fall under the beat 'em up category, but you have your ones that are more like 70s or 80s, like in the street kind of style, like your Double Dragon and Final Fight, or your 64th Street and Mug Smashers, some we'll talk about a little bit later today. And then you got the more fantasy-based ones where you have, Rastan 3 Warrior Blade, and you have the Dungeons and Dragons games, Tower of Doom and Shadow of Mystaria, which those are two amazing games. And then you have Knights of the Round, King of Dragons.
You have Darksteel.
Yeah. Oh, well, no. See, the Darksteel games, I would not
consider that a beat 'em up?
I do not consider the Darkseals a beat 'em up. I consider them more of in the hack and slash dungeon crawler category, that more in line with Gauntlet. See, that's where the line gets a little blurry. It does, and that's part of the purpose of today's show is to clarify that for everyone. And but Rastan 3, that's definitely a beat 'em up, absolutely.
And, yeah, well, I don't know where that is in our show notes, but we definitely want to talk about that. Like, what is a beat 'em up? Like, how do you define it?
Yeah. Well, we'll get down into that later in our topics. But we had another new game came out, Hellfire. Did any of you guys pick that up?
Not yet. I played it somewhere else, probably on a ROM that I got from somewhere. But I played it, just not on iiRcade yet. I'm getting it though because I want to get on those leaderboards. The game is cool. Have you guys tried it? You're shooting different directions. You can
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I know you're not a shmups kind of person.
I've been obsessed with Tiger Heli. I've been playing a lot of Tiger Heli, which is the first game from Toplin. Well, so it's the very first Toplin game ever made.
And I'm still stuck on Truxton, so, until I got on the first page of that leaderboard, that one's kind of been, my shmup go-to. But
Them Truxton, them leaderboards been crazy. You seen them Truxton leaderboards?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
They're
they're
getting
wild.
it in.
So the cool thing is, like, I love the Toplin shooters. Truxton and Tiger Heller are both they're both Toplin shooters. Is what I meant to say.
Right.
And Toplin, the cool thing about those, yeah, I know, buddy, I'm going slow. I'm sorry, I'm on the freeway. Like, so okay, the cool thing about these Truxton, you're spamming that button. You're just bum, 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 and you're gonna give yourself carpal tunnel if you do that all evening long. Whereas Tiger Heli, it's very opposite of that. You can just, everything's like a one-hit kill. You can just hit it right, and if you're just precise, it's a totally different feeling of a game, and your bullets only go like a third of the way up the screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very, very specifically positioned forward and backward. The way that the stuff shoots at you is different. It's a total different type of strategy. Just being good at one does not make you good at the other. They are way different games, but they're both amazing.
You can definitely see the roots of Truxton. If you play Tiger Heli and see the routing and how much you have to figure out paths, it's exactly like Truxton in that respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see the roots of it.
But
both are great.
Speaking of Tiger Heli, Papa Brad, you got a nice review here on Tiger Heli. Do you want to introduce that for us?
Oh yeah. Well, Tiger Heli was Toplin's first shooter, so it's historically really important for them. It's a great game. I love the leaderboards. I think I might have slipped today. I haven't had a chance to check. I was 5. I might have slipped to 6, but that's okay. That's part of the fun. Is it does have leaderboard support. One of the things I love that iiRcade did was they added leaderboard support, but they didn't give us a lot of fanfare. Just all of a sudden we had it, and it was amazing. And so I think that's great. And the leaderboards are a really great feature to have on these games. I have this is a flyer for the original arcade release. You can see some art.
That's
and
cool.
You want to roll the clip?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Tiger Heli is a toe-plan shooter that is an iiRcade store. It costs $7.99, is ranked 149. This game, which was made in 1985, Tiger Heli, was the first shooter that Toplin made. It's also the first game that ever had screen-clearing bombs. In this game, you pilot your helicopter, which is a deliberately slow ship that has a very short firing distance on its bullets. You can't hang out in the back and shoot forward in this shooter. This shooter requires you to constantly be moving and stay in the middle more often. You pilot the helicopter through the different levels. Bullets are the main enemy in this game. There are many ways to get shot. There's guns that are on the ground. There are tanks who have rotating turrets which can target you with pinpoint accuracy. Like most toe-plant shooters, the buildings can be blown up for extra points. This slow pace forces strategic gameplay. The helicopter moves slowly and the bullets move slowly. This game requires careful routing just to survive. The 4 levels in this game were thoughtfully designed out and were a precursor to the more advanced games like Truxton that would follow. The bombs are visible as you fly in your helicopter. You can literally see the bombs on the wings of the helicopter. Occasionally you have the chance to pick up an extra drone ship that helps increase your firepower. The levels are over when you land at a pad at the end of the level. Level is over when you reach a helipad. Extra points are given for having little helicopters or extra bombs. This game is known to be brutal and unforgiving, as it is one of the harder shooters that Toplin made. Was the first shooter, and everything in it is carefully planned out. In 1985, this game was state-of-the-art, but it may seem average and primitive today. I enjoy it because it is a very strategic shooter. Tiger was the foundation of the deliberate shooter design that Toplin would use in the future. If you're ready for a challenge, check out this game, Tiger Heli, from Toplin. On the
That's the guy kicking ass.
I saw your little personal leaderboards there, Brad. Can you pull up the leaderboards on the game? Would that be possible?
Yeah, I'd have to get up. Hold on.
Brad can do everything. He's got a magic setup over there. I'm telling you.
Let me see.
I can't get past that tank. That last one that you just showed.
Give me a moment.
That's a rough spot. Well, while Brad's doing that, can you guys mind if I know I get on my soapbox sometimes, but there's something I wanted to talk about. We got some feedback about our the way that we kind of do our show, if that makes sense. We've got this kind of a format where we we have these shows that we do on Thursdays like this, which is a live show for about an hour or an hour and a half. And then we kind of, if you haven't noticed, we chop it up into different little short segments. And we do that on purpose intentionally because what we're doing is we're trying to create a library of information. There's a lot of other shows out there that we're not trying to emulate, but a lot of these other shows will do a 2-hour stream talking about a lot of different topics. But if you want to go back and you want to find that topic, you got to like sift through a 2-hour live stream to find where they talked about that topic. And so what we kind of thought about is, well, if we chop this into little bite-sized segments, a little 10-minute segment where we talk about a certain thing, we can put that out in a video and it creates a library of information. So if later on, 6 months from now, somebody wants to search for a certain type of topic, it makes it easy to search for and find that. So I just wanted to point that out. That's the main reason that we do that. The other reason is some people just are interested in certain specific topics and they don't want to sit through a long, hour-long show. So we're trying to cater to everybody. So I hope everybody kind of understands where we're coming from. But do you guys have anything to add to that, or did I pretty much cover that?
Well, and I wanted to say, when I came to the guys with like my overall concept for this show, I took influences and inspiration from certain people. And if I'm being completely honest with everybody, the only inspiration I took from the home arcade community was the live aspect, the live stream part, the 4 people in a box. I'm doing a live stream show. But the actual content and where I wanted the show to go, I was actually took inspiration from bigger YouTubers out there. I mean, Joe Rogan Experience, for example. I mean, if you guys watch any of his stuff, he chops up absolutely everything, puts out these great little bites, and they become so popular that a lot of people watch these little clips more than they watch the live stream. And honestly, that's already happened with our particular show as well, to the point that if I could crunch the numbers for you guys, but we're getting more views through these clips after it, like far more than we are during our actual live stream itself. And I mean, it creates a lot of more work, absolutely. I'm constantly churning out videos and content and everything for it. But I also want to reiterate that I'm only doing one video a day. So
one video.
One video. That's all you're going to find.
It's not going to flood anyone's stream, one video from a channel.
Yeah. But the way that our channel is operating is that there is a new video or a live stream. There's something new put on the channel every single day.
Keeps it fresh. And I got the leaderboards up. Ready for the magic?
okay, cool.
Let's see if it works. Let's see here.
Oh,
wait, I got it.
Am I on there still? I'm on there.
Yep, there I am, number 6. I'm still better than Jeff. Jeff's on my tail though.
Oh man.
We have Turbo Joe, who is a contributor to the show. If you don't know Turbo Joe, he's a real gamer, man. He plays retro games.
Yeah.
He did a great spotlight for us on Kung Fu Master.
Yeah, and can you pull up the Truxton leaderboards as well, Brad?
Yeah, I can put them up. Hold on.
I would love to get a look at those ones as well.
I might get on that Hellfire one this week. That's my goal this week. I'm going to do Hellfire. I want to see everybody else there. All these new games. I don't have time to play. There's so many new games coming out.
I know. I mean iiRcade's just been really
we want to
bringing
keep
it.
that going. That's a good thing, though. We want
They're killing it every week. It's Thursday already. There might be more tomorrow. My goodness.
Pull it up, Mikey.
All right, here, I'll get it.
There it is.
There we go.
I'm 7th on that one, too.
Still on the first page. Combs of Rust just edged me out.
Yeah.
With 169.
Kemgret's about to fall off the first page.
Uh-oh.
Who's at the top? I can't see it.
Rad Mixtape.
I'm not even sure who that is. That's awesome. We got some new names in there.
Mad Dads.
Yeah, you see my name up there, Rad Mixtape? I'm at the top. It's me.
Second page.
I like Console Fanboy's comment. I would play Hellfire, but my life is a Hellfire, so I'm good.
Hey, I'm still 21st in the world.
Yeah,
it can't be that bad.
Hey, I'm coming for that first.
They got most of the weekly retro party guys on here too. It looks like I see Everything Gaming. I see Mad Dads, UAG.
But hey, I'll take it. I'm the 21st best Truxton player in the world.
That's true.
You know,
that's true. Staying on that first page of Truxton's going to be a challenge.
Yeah,
people are getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. But now look, we got another new game spotlight for you guys today. Do you want to introduce this one, Jeff?
I don't know what one we got. I don't have it. You got the
Double Dragon, dude.
Oh, Retro Oblivion.
Oh, Retro Oblivion. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to change my camera.
We're so unorganized today. I usually have a notepad file next to me with all of the topics we're going to talk about and the videos that we're going to show. So at least I know what the heck we're talking about.
It's okay. I got it. I got it, guys. Okay. This video is from Retro Oblivion. He's got a great channel. He has 142 videos on his channel. Go check him out. And this is on Wardner, which is another new release game.
Oh yeah, good one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Retro Oblivion. I just bought a game off iiRcade, and this is a really cool game. I like it a lot, and I wanted to share this with you all. It does have a leaderboard and a download size of about 2 megabytes. I bought the game for only $7.99, which is not a bad price in my opinion. It's a side-scrolling action game similar to Ghosts and Goblins. In this game, you take on a role of a child on a journey to try to get your girlfriend back from an evil warlock. Now, there are a lot of people out there that say this game is exactly like Ghosts and Goblins, but I don't really see that. Let's go ahead and check out the game. I'll show you one board, and you all let me know what you think. In this game, you can jump and shoot these little fireballs out of your hand. Pretty cool. Now this game does have checkpoints. So if you die, they do start you off at the last checkpoint, which is really cool. And there we go. Okay. Whoa. I didn't see that coming. Oh boy. And you definitely want to avoid falling in that little pink lava pit there. This really is an awesome game. I love this game. I'm so glad I bought it.
Going for the boss battle.
Toaplan's really known for shooters. This is a Toaplan game, though.
Pretty cool.
This is the Toaplan game too.
And here we got a little shop you can buy stuff from, and I think I'll pass. All right, everybody, my final thoughts on this game is that it's just simply awesome. I love this game. It's a lot of family fun for everybody. I think it's good for the kids, the wife, and even yourself. It's not a difficult game to get through. You can get through the first couple boards very easy. It's not like Ghosts and Goblins where you find yourself like pulling your hair out of your head trying to get through the first board, and the second board's even worse. It's very easy. I could see the similarities between this game and Ghosts and Goblins, but this game is a lot easier. It's a lot more relaxing. But that's all I have for you all today. If you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and drop them down below, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.
And thank you, Retro Oblivion, for that awesome video. Make sure you check out his channel. He does a lot of great home arcade content. He does VR. He also has an amazing tour of the Pinball Hall of Fame in Las Vegas. He's if you like my channel, Papa Brad's Gaming, his channel is very similar. He has a lot of great content on there. Go check him out.
Yeah.
Retro Oblivion.
Thanks so much for that at Retro Oblivion. That was awesome. And
Great job.
That's a fun game. It really is. Man, all these games so far we've shown are all been released in the last couple of weeks, and they're all really good.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like iiRcade's been really stepping it up and releasing some good stuff of late. Honestly, guys.
I agree 100%. 100%.
Speaking of stuff that is new, let's we haven't gotten official confirmation if the new cab is indeed going to be called Omega. You know, maybe if Michael's in the chat, he can let us know if he's still, you know, they're still kicking that one around.
We really would like a name.
But having said that, what new skins would be most appealing to you guys for this new cab?
Okay, I'm going to throw it out there first. I want a full-on shmup shooter skin. You could do a Toaplan skin. You could put like images from Truxton and the other great shooters on it, but they need a shooter-themed skin for iiRcade because this cab is the king of shmups. Yeah. That's my opinion. What do you think, Mikey?
Well, let's kick it over to CT first. What do you think, CT?
What are we talking about? So I just got to my location. I wasn't listening.
What kind of new skin do you want in a cab for the new iteration?
I just want the new cab. I don't care what it looks like. I take the one they've been showing at that cell game. I'll take that. Whatever the one that they got already. I'll take a new one. Dragon's Lair, it don't matter. I just want the new one.
Okay.
I just want it.
What about you,
go.
Jeff?
I want something like one of the new beat 'em ups, like either a Streets of Rage 4 or a Shredder's Revenge. And I know that doesn't make sense because we don't have those games yet, but if we get those games, I would love to see those. Like, can you imagine a Turtles Shredder's Revenge skin on? Oh man, that would be sweet. I don't know about as far as current titles. I don't know. I don't know if there's any current titles I want. The Sydney Hunter one looks pretty sweet to me, but I don't know. It's just my opinion. If I was to pick one right now, I'd probably go with the Sydney Hunter.
All right, and as far as I'm concerned, the Dragon's Lair, that new Dragon's Lair looks fantastic. So much so that, I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out there for the folks. I mean, I know Arcade 1-Up has got a Dragon's Lair possibly in the works and whatnot, but I mean, really, like, you're gonna pay how much for 3 games when you can get those same 3 games on iiRcade and so much more? And even, I mean, I don't know. I would wait and see before you make any kind of pre-order on Arcade 1-Up Dragon's Lair. In my humble opinion, I mean, to me, I mean, let me put this in like kind of plain English for everybody. I mean, there's some people that they just love Big Mac, and there's some people that just love steak, and there's some people that love both. Now, if you're somebody and you just love a Big Mac, then, you know, the Dragon's Lair Arcade 1-Up is releasing might be for you. But if you still prefer steak over a Big Mac, and you're going to pay the same amount of price, like, why would you not have who wouldn't choose the steak over the Big Mac? I mean, really, it's that simple. So. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about that.
Somebody in the chat said they wanted a Oddmar cabinet. That would be a good one.
Oddmar.
That's good artwork.
Ronsky had a really good comment I threw up. He said 3 skins: a shooter multi, a modern multi theme, and a retro multi theme. Because those are like, there are people that love the modern, there are people that love the retro, and like I would be all about having the shooter personally because I just love those games on iiRcade.
That's not a bad idea to have a multi-cap theme that has some of these, right? Like put Oddmar, put Siggy, put like some of these, modern titles and a bunch of them on there in a multi-cade type, because that's what it is, really. It's a multi-cade. That's not a bad idea if they did some kind of custom like multi-cade type stuff. I like that idea.
You know what I'm seeing, Jeff, too? I'm seeing some love for Ninja Clowns. So the game's growing on people. Yeah, we got several nice comments about Ninja Clowns. And Ronsky says now he wants.
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, Ronsky says now I want steak. So we've done that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and who's not going to pick steak? I mean, really. I mean, but there are some people that they just want a Big Mac, and I mean, God bless you, if but
yeah.
They like the steak, but they're not trying to hate. They like the Big Mac.
Yeah.
Big Mac sauce tastes good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a Big Mac. I mean, who doesn't like a good Big Mac? But if they're sitting right in front of you and they say, which one do you want, CT, the Big Mac or the steak? Which one are you picking?
Depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
What if that steak comes with a nice baked potato?
Maybe talk about some side. You got some Yukon potatoes. You got some, I don't know, some Brussels sprouts. I don't know. I take it.
I've never had a Big Mac with Brussels sprouts on the side. I don't know what McDonald's you go to. That must be the one that has the good Wi-Fi connection I keep hearing about.
How the Bachelor says Big Mac is trash.
Big Mac is trash.
What?
Well, the meat is certainly not high quality. So I reached out today, or not today, a couple weeks ago to Roy Mason. You guys remember Roy? He is an awesome member of the community. Roy has been around since the beginning, since before the Kickstarter, and he's been to multiple Game and Brew nights with Jong. And this guy, if you don't know Roy, he is a master at Double Dragon. And when I heard we're going to do a show where we're going to kind of have a lot of topics about beat 'em ups, I'm like, we got to get Roy Mason to talk about Double Dragon. He's the only one qualified in my books to really give that one a good review. And so I reached out to Roy, and Roy was ecstatic to be part of the show. He wanted to make a Double Dragon segment for us. So I'd love to. Can we show this segment from Roy?
Yes.
For Double Dragon.
Here we go.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for letting me be on the show. I was speaking to Jeff a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned I had mentioned how much I enjoyed the new show iiRcadians, and he said, "Why don't you put something out on Double Dragon?" Of course, I've always loved beat 'em ups. Growing up on the mean streets of Canada, we always had to have those fists up. No, of course not, but always did enjoy beat 'em ups for some reason, a variety of different ones. And the first one I really started to like was Double Dragon, and I put out a review about a little over a year ago on Double Dragon. There's been a few updates since then, so I thought I would add on to that existing review and expand it out a little bit. So I hope you like it. Here it is. Hey guys, it's Roy Mason with my very first game review, Double Dragon on iiRcade. This game was first released through Technos Japan in 1987, distributed through Taito. Double Dragon was a game that was always pretty important to me as a kid. It was something that I remember because I could play the game through the entire game on 1 quarter, which was because I am cheap, of course, which was pretty good because that made it cheap. But kids were literally lined out the door, lining up to play this particular game. So let's take a look at the iiRcade version of Double Dragon. This game was such a big game changer for beat 'em ups that had already been released, like Kung Fu Master and Shinobi, that had been released around that same time period. But this changed fighting games going forward. The sound is just as I remember it as well, and the iiRcade 1.21 gigawatts gives the rumble that I remember hearing in the arcade.
1.21 gigawatts!
And one of the big parts of Double Dragon for me was always the responsiveness of the controls. If I played a machine, the joystick had to work right, the button combinations had to not stick, and the iiRcade team does not disappoint with this. And the fact that they were able to restore the original punch, jump, kick button configuration at our request. And a quick update there, I have the original Sanwa clones and the original 64 gig iiRcade original issue, and I played quite a bit on those games, especially on the Double Dragon, and given those sticks a pretty good beating, and they're still very, very responsive. The only criticisms that I would have of the game is that there is no global leaderboard yet. And what a huge difference a year makes. We now have, of course, online leaderboards and have for a while. I still like them, even though I'm not, at the top tier anymore, but that's okay. And so we have that. And there is a possible rumor, not definite, that Double Dragon could be one of the first games in the iiRcade to get online play. Now, some people have criticized that the game still has a significant lag. Now, I'm going to counter those people because, honestly, the lag is part of the game. It's part of the technology of the day.
That's the way it was when we played it.
And we liked it. We loved it.
And eventually they were able to correct that in Double Dragon 2, which moves much faster, but it's part of the game. And removing that lag to me is like taking the pops and the cracks out of vinyl. It was part of the recording. It was part of the time, or what I would say as history. Some people get a little hung up at the bridge. Basically hit the Abobo either side with elbows, isolate him on the bridge, and then slide down directly and block the kick.
Block the knight.
Also, less elbows means more points. So use the elbow if you want to get to the end, but if you want points, use the kick more. With the roundhouse kick will work a little bit better to rack up more points.
And just to expand on that, the elbow, by some people who play the game quite a bit, is kind of considered an easy way out, an easy way to get through the game. That's how I was always able to get through on one quarter, was pretty much using the elbow, because I wasn't playing for points. Since the iiRcade come on, I've taken a look more at what gets a higher point total. So I've been working more towards using the roundhouse kick in a variety of different. The hair pulls don't get as much points, and neither does the elbow, but it does get you through the game. And especially if you are really down in your power and you want to get through, to get the refresh on your power, to get through an end stage, definitely use the elbow to get yourself there, and then start using any extra power that you might have at the end to rack up more points.
To be conscious of what our kids see, the beginning is a little brutal, a little bit more than we want to see of Marion.
Other than that, the violence is pretty much PG-13, so pretty tame for the most part. Overall, the game works pretty well on the iiRcade, and it's a winner for me. So thanks, Jongshin, for bringing this game. And of course, the best news yet is that it's standard with every version of the iiRcade. And of course, Double Dragon was just the first game of the Double Dragon series to hit the arcades. And then I remember when Double Dragon first came out, I saw it in Niagara Falls, Ontario. I thought, this is going to be the greatest game ever, Double Dragon 2. And it was okay. You know, I just couldn't. They took away my elbow. They changed all the fighting styles. They changed the controls. Because everything, as I mentioned earlier, was always about controls and how responsive the controls were, and it just kind of disoriented me, and I went on to other games and never really played it. So one of the great things about the iiRcade for me has been a chance to revisit Double Dragon 2 and be able to get used to it, because I have unlimited quarters, so I was able to get used to the controls, and it's a lot of fun. Then, of course, Double Dragon 3 came out, and that was, I honestly didn't even know it came out, never really saw it, didn't even know it really existed, saw it a few years later. It just was not the same gameplay. If you liked Nintendo or NES's version of Double Dragon, I feel like Double Dragon 3 plays more like that. The moves are just not fluid, just not the same game, different design team. But if you play Combat Tribes is the true sequel to Double Dragon. It has a lot of the same moves, the same design team, and so it's definitely something that is worth playing if you really like the original Double Dragon game. So I highly recommend the Combat Tribes. So if you love beat 'em ups, iiRcade is definitely a place for you. There's all kinds of them out there, different styles, different ages of games, some more complicated, others more simple, such as Kung Fu Master, but just some great games out there. So I encourage you to explore through iiRcade's titles and check out some of the great beat 'em ups that are out there. And of course, one of the best beat 'em ups that I've seen here recently is the Rastan series, Warrior Blade. So I plan to play a little bit of that tonight. So looking forward to that. Guys, thanks for letting me contribute to the show. And again, I love the show, and have a good one.
Yeah, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you, John.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And I have a couple of things I wanted to say that that he touched on in his video. And the first thing about the slowdown and the lag in the original Double Dragon, I actually proposed this to Michael, and I don't know if they can go in and tweak the games or not. But if you look on the Nintendo Switch, NES Online and SNES Online, they went back and released like different versions of these games, like Legend of Zelda, where you get all the cheats are enabled, or like. But my point being, I would be perfectly okay. I don't know about you guys. If they wanted
like an option to switch between.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Or no, do an alternate release.
Absolutely not.
Do an alternate release of Double Dragon and Double Dragon 2 and change the control scheme in Double Dragon 2 and get rid of the lag in Double Dragon 1, and you can charge another $10 for those games, and I know I would buy them.
Oh man, here we go. Country. I know Brad is on the other side, it sounds like, saying no, absolutely not.
No, keep the arcade accurate slowdown.
I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm saying
I hear you, but yeah, I want them to be like they are in the arcade. So I think it's.
Would you guys be okay?
Maybe, but...
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, would you be okay if, like, when you go into the game, it was like said press coin button to swap between them or something, and then it said arcade accurate or improved performance or something like that. It had two different modes that you could select which one you wanted, and there were two different leaderboards.
That would be cool.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know how hard that would be to do, but sounds like, is that kind of what they did on the Switch?
Yeah, but it would be two different versions of the game. Like, so it'd be two different icons, So you'd have the original game you'd select, and then you'd have the alternate version.
Oh, you're saying a whole different game. Okay,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But and then the second thing I wanted to touch on that Roy said about Double Dragon 2. Now, see, I grew up with the NES versions more so than the arcade versions, so my perspective on it might be a little bit different. But Double Dragon 2 on NES is a great game. It is a great
Mikey,
NES
can I throw up a couple comments real quick? The whole point, this is from Rich Odella, the whole point is it's a homage to the original version. Rich Odella says he's with Brad. Don't touch it. Let's look at Ronsky. Ronsky says, yes, slowdown is bug, not a feature. So there you go.
Don't worry, Out of Bachelor. I've decided to pull over in a parking lot so that way I was worrying people. So I didn't want anyone to think I was being
skills.
But
I was going to let camera driving.
What I was saying about Double Dragon 2 though is that when I started getting into the arcade version, I was actually used to the control scheme because it was the same on the NES. And so but definitely Double Dragon 2 is an awesome beat 'em up.
Yeah.
But
I was used to the arcade Double Dragon, so for me, the fact that it played accurately meant a lot. I mean, they had to optimize that to get the correct slowdown rate.
And then
play correctly.
And as far as the franchise go, I'm going to throw this short little clip up, and I'm going to talk over it for you guys because I want to talk. This is an important point when it comes to Double Dragon. That part of the thing I wanted to do with this show was to not just pay homage and respect to iiRcade or even the current game companies and stuff like that, but there's people in days gone by, that made these games that were amazing developers, and they deserve some shine as well. And so let's take a look at it. This guy, it's Yohisa Kishimoto, I believe is how you say his name.
That's pretty good.
And when you go down and look through the laundry list of stuff that this guy was a part of, it's just insane. Like, and the game Renegade, which predates Double Dragon even, is one of the early beat 'em ups. And he worked for Technos Japan, and that's where a lot of these games all came from. But look at here, you got Renegade, Double Dragon, Double Dragon on NES, Double Dragon 2 arcade, WWF Superstars, the arcade game, Double Dragon 2 on the NES, Double Dragon 3, WWF WrestleFest, Super Double Dragon, the Combat Tribes. I mean, and then so it's just
busy.
Yeah, and then he's got even doing some modern game stuff as well. So it's just the stuff that he's been doing is just pretty crazy. How do I get my screen smaller? There we go. So yeah, he's definitely a great, an important person in the history of gaming. And it just so happens that here on the iiRcade, we have a pretty big selection of his games, honestly. Brad's over there chuckling about something. What's up, man?
Just reading the chat. We got some funny comments in the chat.
He's laughing about fighting in the parking lot.
Yeah. Brooklyn Menace said that Jeff Driving would have went with last week's episode, and he said he should get out and pick a fight.
Yeah.
Pick a fight in the parking lot.
And before we get into our topic on beat 'em ups, I made this little clip here to showcase just how good at beat 'em ups that are on the iiRcade. So let's check it out. First up, we have Double Dragon. I could not make this list without including this iconic beat 'em up, and of course, it's a great sequel as well. Double Dragon 2, both highly recommended. And next up, we have Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. This is another early beat 'em up, and it's really a lot of fun, and it has aged rather well. And yeah, so give Bad Dudes a go. It's definitely a fun beat 'em up, old school style, 80s style beat 'em up. So yeah, Bad Dudes. And next up, we got a modern beat 'em up, and this is Mayhem Brawler. And I actually am playing as She-Wolf here. And what's cool about this game is, unlike the old ones, you cannot quarter your way through it, so you actually have to use your skills and worry about your health and all that stuff. But Mayhem Brawler is a highly, highly recommended beat 'em up to definitely give a try here on the iiRcade. And next up, we have 64th Street, a detective story, and this is a fun kind of Final Fight knockoff, if you will, kind of beat 'em up. But what I found to be really interesting about this game is you can actually throw people through the buildings and stuff, and that is an awesome game mechanic that this game features. And like I said, the play style is very much like Final Fight. So yeah, 64th Street, give it a go. It's actually a lot of fun. And then next up, we have Night Slashers. My boy CT Jason did an awesome game spotlight on this, so I recommend you guys go and check that out. I'll put the link in here right now. But yeah, here I am playing as the girl ninja. And look, what do we have here? Oh, we have CT Jason. He don't want the smoke. Look at it. He's taking him down. He ain't nothing. He don't want it. And yeah, Night Slashers is a lot of fun.
He's gonna eat the sewer hot dog.
Sure. When you find a hot dog in a sewer that's got smoke coming from it, you know you want to eat it. You know you need to. You want that hot dog. So yeah, and you got to fight this James Woods knockoff character. And yeah, Night Slash.
He ate the hot dog!
Check out CT Jason's awesome review. And speaking of awesome review, How to Bachelor here.
Sorry about that. But as you see, you just be beating down folks. There you got Machete throwing around a thing, doing a little Tasmanian devil action. This game is just like stupid fun.
Thanks, How to Bachelor.
How to Bachelor.
And final up,
Awesome.
we have Shadow Force. Now, this is a very unique beat 'em up, and it actually uses all 6 buttons, and you can control a werewolf kind of dude named Coyote, even though he's more like a werewolf than a coyote. And you can play as ninjas, a male ninja and a girl ninja, and a strong man kind of dude. But yeah, I highly, highly recommend Shadow Force, a very underrated gem here on the iiRcade, and I'll be getting into this game shortly, so stay tuned, everyone. Yeah, so there's just a quick taste of some of the highlights here on the iiRcade. And as far as Shadow Force go, I saw somebody say something in the comments that's going up the rankings, and I absolutely agree. We did a poll about the top beat 'em ups on the iiRcade on our channel during our community page, and I'll put that up right now.
Shadow Force looks really good. I've got to try that one.
I didn't. We talked about the entries, and I didn't put Shadow Force on there, and it broke my heart to not do it because I would absolutely take Mug Smashers and 64th Street off and put Shadow Force in its place, and that would be the list for me personally.
It's probably just one of those unknown gems, right? Like that people just don't realize that it's there, how good it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should do a spotlight on that one.
Yep, down the road.
Yeah, I think it's coming next week, everyone. So
there we go.
Tuned for that.
There we go.
What's interesting about this poll here, though, is how Double Dragon and Mayhem Brawler have tied. And as you can see, I did in fact vote for Double Dragon. That was this is from my Facebook.
Oh, you voted in our own poll?
Hey, Mikey J Productions gets a vote. Why not? You know, but
I didn't vote.
Double Dragon is one of the originals, and then you have Mayhem Brawlers on the other end is one of the new ones. And yeah, so that's
it kind of reinforces there is that 50% split. Like 50% of the people want all new games, and like 50% seem to want all retro. But I mean, they're doing both, which is good. I just hope they keep it up.
If you guys are not affected by Mayhem Brawlers, because Double Dragon was free.
Oh, that's true.
Just saying.
Everybody's got that one.
Yeah, but it is a AAA all-time classic arcade game as well, though. CT.
You're right.
I mean, you can't.
I ain't hitting on Double Dragon. I love it. I'm just saying.
So if you didn't get a chance to vote in this poll, it's probably because you're not subscribed to the channel.
Oh.
So you need to be subscribed to the channel so you can see these polls because we put them in the community post thing. And I don't think you'll see those if you're not subscribed. So you got to be subscribed, people. Come on now.
Come on.
Hit that subscribe button.
And so now let's go into our topic of the day. And let's talk about all things beat 'em up. And to get this ball rolling, I'm gonna talk about the differences between a beat 'em up, a hack and slash, and a run and gun. And now a beat 'em up is very specific. It's it's hand-to-hand combat. You can have a weapon, but a weapon is not absolutely necessary. But whoever's clicking there is rather annoying.
Sorry about that.
What a hack and slash. Now that is more like a gauntlet kind of game, and it's more of a dungeon crawler. Okay, and that's why the Dark Seal games, especially the first one, I would definitely put more into the dungeon crawler hack and slash category. Now the second one is kind of blurring the lines a little bit because some of these ones do, like Gauntlet, like Legends, and Dark Legacy, like where but I would still say they're dungeon crawler hack and slashes and not a beat 'em up. So
dungeon crawl would be what I would call it, yeah.
And then the run and guns, you have Metal Slug and Contra, and then on the iiRcade we have the Thunder Hoops games and the Gun Force games. They're definitely more of the run and gun, whereas a beat 'em up, is very, very specific kind of style of game. And so yeah.
So where would you say? So if you're going to say like run and gun, hack and slash, platformer, they're all kind of very similar. It's just a matter of what kind of weapon you're using. Is that the idea?
Yeah,
like a gun versus a blade?
Well, and not in all beat 'em ups. Like Bad Dudes doesn't have like a power bar on the enemies, and Double Dragon doesn't either. But they can get knocked down and get back up. And whereas most of your platforming games, like Rastan 1, for example, I mean that's got to be something that came out of the platforming genre because there is a lot of platforming elements to it. But they just took the weapon, but you usually hit the bad guy once and they go down.
Hey, can I add something?
Yeah.
I'm not a massive beat 'em up fan, but I have a friend who's a massive beat 'em up fan, out of Bachelor. So I asked him what he thought made a good beat 'em up, and this was his response. He says he likes the games with the licensed characters like X-Men, Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles, and Simpsons. Those hold nostalgia. He likes other fun beat 'em ups. The art, sound, and fighting style are a big part of what he feels makes a good beat 'em up. Also, with beat 'em ups, it's if it has a good special move mechanic, that is a huge benefit in the beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And he talked about special moves like the pots and golden axe, the Tasmanian devil and mug smashers, and the difficulty progressing with a mix of enemies. He also mentioned that in beat 'em ups, you should look at the boss mechanics. I mean, are the bosses you can just roll right through them, or are they tough? But I thought he had some really good insights, and I talked to him before I did my review of Warrior Blade to get his feedback. But thanks a lot, Brian. I appreciate your help.
Yeah,
some really good ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say to add to that, the boss mechanic. There's so many beat 'em ups now that the boss mechanic is go up to the boss and hit him a whole bunch of times and pop a bunch of quarters in there, and there's not a lot of strategy to it at all. Like there's no learning how to do the boss. It's just walk up to and hit it. And even some of the best beat 'em ups, that's all they've got, But the other thing he mentioned, or you mentioned that he said special move mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
One that I guess I dislike is when there's a special move, but it takes your life to do it. Right? Like if you do the special move, you lose 10% of your life every time you do it. That discourages me from ever wanting to do the special move. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really don't like when games do that. I would rather have a meter for that separate, or a finite number of bombs you can use or something. But I don't like when they make you take your life to do the special move. I don't know, something about that. I just don't like it.
I agree.
It comes from the greed mechanic of them wanting you to put more quarters in it when it was an arcade game,
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I know why they do it.
100%. We got a cool comment from Ronsky. He missed the beginning of the show. Did we discuss how easy Rastian 3 was? And I think that's both a blessing and a curse. Because, I mean, like, you played it with your daughter, right, Jeff?
Yeah, and so I thought it was
really
good
enjoy
for
it? Like,
I really did enjoy it.
I played the game with my grandson, and we play Double Dragon all the time, and he's constantly having to coin up all the time. And so he's just constantly putting the coins in. But he really enjoyed the Warrior Blade because of that. But, would be a great add-on, and, I don't want to be critical, but a room for improvement with that game would be, normally I like every game having the same settings, but in that case, it might be good to have just like a difficulty adjustment, like an easy, medium, and hard. Because for, advanced gamers, they're not going to have, it might be too easy. But that is a good comment. So
Really
thank you
good
for
point.
that.
So the question I think then becomes is how easy is that to implement, right? Is it even possible? And that's the question for Michael at, iiRcade. Is the code in such a way that it's even an option? Sometimes it's like, no, there's no way for us to change that from the original code.
And then
Other
sometimes
times they
we
might
ask
be like,
for
no problem.
leaderboards, and like 2 or 3 days later, we have them. So,
it just
that
depends.
is true.
I think every
They are
game is different.
listening, and they do listen to the community. And
Well,
I
If
hear
that's
that.
possible, we would like this difficulty levels in some of these games. That would be cool.
Or if they leave the difficulty alone, but some way they can work in leaderboards.
You don't need to make Truxton any harder.
Let's dial down the difficulty in that one.
Yeah, please.
But now, let me say this, though. If you're going to make difficulty levels, there need to be multiple leaderboards, because you can't have people playing on easy mode and hard mode for the same leaderboard. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
But are there leaderboards on Warrior Blade? So is it a non-issue?
No, there's not. But
so it's a non-issue.
I'm just saying. But if they added leaderboards to it and kept the difficulty where it is, that would entice it, because now you're still looking for your, you got 1 quarter to earn X amount of points to get on that leaderboard. So no matter the difficulty of the game, it's kind of a moot point at that point. Is what I'm saying.
And I think it's okay for them to look at it game by game too. Like Warrior Blade might be a game that would benefit from a more difficult mode, but a lot of them don't. But that is one that they could maybe have a more difficult mode.
I think Rich Odello's got a point there. They may only have the compiled code, not the full access to the whole thing. It's got to be from a game-to-game perspective. And I suspect if they had the option to do different difficulty modes, they probably would have done that probably.
While we're on the Warrior Blade topic too, I mean, they were talking about like how like one part of the screen has smoothing and the other part doesn't. Like I really didn't even notice that when I was playing it. I played it like several times all the way through. But I mean, it's not a game-breaking thing. It's very minor.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it until you guys pointed it out. So
I didn't either.
I didn't
it's
either.
It's a great game and it's fun, but I'm sure they're going to fix it. But it's just to say that no, don't get that game because of that is ridiculous because that game is awesome.
Everybody's picky about different things though, so some people are, aspect ratio and scan lines and all that stuff really matters a lot to them. For me, gameplay first and foremost, as long as that's pinpoint.
Absolutely. Optimize the gameplay is the most important feature.
And then
I think it's cool the aspect ratio because it was a dual screen game. So it's really wide and it actually makes the playfield really cool, especially when you're playing as the CT Jason character with the machete. You're really good, But but some people might not like it. Some people might look at that as a negative thing and go, "I don't like how there's these big bars at the top and the bottom." And other people might look at it as a good thing because they're preserving the wide aspect ratio. It just kind of depends, to each his own, right?
I kind of looked at it like from the arcade purist, like keeping the aspect ratio was like what I was a fan of. Like I want my arcade games to be as accurate to the original as they can be.
Right.
That's just what I judge them by.
I didn't really notice it when I was playing.
I didn't either. I mean, honestly, I played it a bunch.
Yeah. So, CT, you have any thoughts you want to chime in about the beat 'em ups?
Not too much. I mean, I love me some beat 'em ups in the iiRcade. It's got a lot of them, a whole lot of them. I had a review I was about to make, but I didn't have enough time to finish it. I played that Combat Tribes game. I really liked that game. That game was good.
Tribes, yeah. I got a question to ask you guys. What do you think if you could? Because beat 'em ups are so good on arcade machines. They're really good. They translate well on arcades. And if you could pick like some beat 'em up games, or maybe a beat 'em up game that we don't have on the iiRcade, like a wish list, like what do you want to see? What would be a beat 'em up that you would love to have on the iiRcade?
The Punisher,
Shredder's Revenge, and Streets of Rage 4.
Okay,
I'm going.
I agree. I want that Shredder's Revenge. It looks good.
I think Alien vs. Predator would be a good one. I don't know how hard that'd be to license, so Shredder's Revenge definitely. But I want to see Castle. I can't even say it. Castle Crashers. That was a really fun one.
Yeah, Castle Crashers.
I would love to see.
I know y'all said that don't count, but that's a good one.
I would love to see Spider-Man from Sega.
Yeah,
Spider-Man the video game.
Yeah, that one could be.
That's
possible,
a Sega.
Yeah,
I know Capcom might be hard, but Sega might be something they could get.
I know for me personally, as much as I like the old games, and I do like the old games, one huge advantage of Mayhem Brawlers is the fact that it's a modern game. It has modern sensibilities to an old genre, and as such, you can't just quarter your way through it. So it adds, it brings that original authenticity back, because back when we were playing these games, we only had $5 or whatever, so you had to make them quarters count, man.
If you get one where it's just a quarter your way through it kind of game, those ones are not as good on home arcades because you have unlimited quarters, so it kind of ruins that to me. The ones that are the best are the ones that have some replay value to them or have some different mechanic or different strategic way of doing it. Maybe some RPG elements, or you can level up your character or that kind of thing. Like that, those make for more interesting home arcade beat 'em ups to me.
Right, and that's
not just quarter your way through it.
Yeah, I did enjoy Mayhem Brawlers because of that. It had that modern element, which did make it different, even though it was more enjoyable playing for me on an arcade.
Yeah, absolutely. But and as far as like the originals go, Double Dragon still holds up extremely well. And the reason why is because, I mean, I know that, Roy Mason, he could elbow his way through it on one quarter, but, for the rest of us, schmucks out there, it's a hard game. And still, like, even though you can quarter your way through it,
it is hard, but it is timeless. It holds its fun. Like my grandson loves Double Dragon. Every time he came, that was the game he wanted to play until I got the Warrior Blade game. Now he likes that one because it's, it's fun.
Yeah, they're definitely what I play with my son the most. The beat 'em ups and the shmups are usually our go-to. That and Bomb Squad. He likes Bomb Squad.
I'm trying to figure out what game Mike Hawk is talking about that's coming in April. Is it a beat 'em up, Mike? I don't know. He knows something that we don't about a game coming out in April, apparently.
Huh.
It says he can neither confirm nor deny that one of his favorite games of all time is coming in April. So
I think Roy might have given us a hint that Double Dragon might be one of the first games too on online. That would be because I think everyone that has an iiRcade would have that game because it's a pack-in game.
Yeah, you want to.
I feel like they're going to want to do some of the pack-in games for the online because they're going to need to test it, right? So it would make sense that they do some of the ones that everybody has access to.
Because you get a massive amount of people playing at once, too.
Right, exactly.
Well, and we think about the fact that there's been rumors of a possible Double Dragon arcade 1-up cabinet, and a lot of people are talking about online about it. Like, if these rumors are true, and why wouldn't they be, that Double Dragon might be one of the early releases that we see for our online, because it is a packing game. It's only logical, that again, what's the
competition? Gotta get that out there online before the competition does. I get it.
That is true.
What's going on here? Or wouldn't that put a wrench in arcade 1-ups plans if that was the first games that come out that is online for Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we know they have it running because Rexer played online at the show he went to.
Oh, that's a good point.
Show
Brad.
Rexer was playing Double Dragon online, so we know that's a good to go and it's already working fine.
Oh man, there it is.
So we're speculating. We really don't know 100%, but it seems like a natural choice that would be a good starting game for them to launch.
I've never heard of Undercover Cops, Zod Rider. He says
I believe that's a Sega game as well. Undercover Cops is.
Hey, Zod Rider says he's surprised Ninja Kids doesn't get much more love.
Oh yeah, we didn't even say anything about Ninja Kids. I've never played that one actually.
I don't have it on iiRcade, but I have it on the cab that I'm sitting at right now, and it's because for me it's good. It's a good beat 'em up. Same with Ninja Clowns. I mean, they're good, solid beat 'em ups, but I mean, if I'm honest, the ones that we mentioned I think are better. And that's not to throw shade at any other game. I mean, I think they're all good, but I mean, this is the beat 'em up show, and we're talking about which ones we like the best. And like I said, one of my big things was, and we'll get into it next week, is Shadow Force. I mean, go check that game.
And I think as we do more and more shows, people need to be introduced to a lot of games they might not have seen before that are really good games and maybe just haven't played them before. And I hope to keep growing that.
And I think next week we'll be talking a lot about that, specifically about some hidden gems that
should be higher than they are, that people don't really appreciate. So
yeah, because this is the machine for that. There's some hidden gems on here that are better than a lot of people realize, and I think that would be something that we'll probably talk about next week.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, it's probably about time to wrap it up for the day. Let's go around the horn. Jeff, what do you got to say to everyone?
I still got like an hour and a half drive from this parking lot before I get home, so that's my night tonight. But I'm excited for next week's show. I'm excited. There's, everybody's talking about all kinds of new stuff going on in the community, out in the arcade community. It's been a fun week, and who knows? Maybe I'll actually do some content on my own channel. So go subscribe to Rainwater Games. Put the little bell just in case I decide to actually, I don't know, put a video on there. It does seem to have time these days.
All right, CT, what are you up to, man?
What am I just been busy this week. I've been slacking on getting my content right, but I got a lot of footage ready. I got 5 videos I'm working on. Plus that home arcade championship already started. The first challenge already done. All the stuff's going to the judges. Episode in less than 2 weeks is going to be hot. That's what I got going on.
That's exciting. What about
you haven't seen the trailer for that? Check it out.
Yeah, check out his trailer.
Yeah, I got some more iiRcade stuff, but I always give first dibs to anything I do to iiRcadians. But I have some more reviews coming for some games I really love. Be sure to check out my channel. I've got great tours of real arcades. And, go show them some love. Those videos are just getting tons of views lately. So go check out my arcade tours. I've done a lot of great arcade tours. I have a whole playlist on my channel, but check it out. It's really good stuff. And that's where my heart is. That's what I love the most of my content.
Do you have to pay $300 to get into any of those?
I didn't pay $300, but you know what? I did contact every owner or make contact before I showed up with a camera. And,
there you go.
That works because they respect that. Then when you show up, they're not surprised.
Papa Brad thinking ahead.
Yeah, every time I don't go anywhere before I call ahead.
And as far as I go, I'm gonna have a video from my live stream last Sunday, a character spotlight on my Shiranui. I'm gonna get that edited up tonight. That's gonna be coming out on my channel tomorrow. So look forward to that. Yeah, give me grief everyone. Yeah. And then you can see me Sunday. I'm gonna be coming in with my Sunday show and live streaming. Probably be around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday. I'll probably be playing some King of Fighters 15, and who knows what else if I can get these slackers around me here to actually.
I know we got a contributor to the channel. Brooklyn Menace is working on Game Fight to show he's going to launch pretty soon on his channel, so that's an exciting thing too.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Mikey, about my Shiranui. I just know that you really like that character. So.
Yeah. We all know. It's all good. But anyways, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and see you on the flip side.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we got the iiRcadians merch store. If you want to take a little piece of the show with you, you can get it right here. Enjoy. Yo, next to you, check out them beat 'em ups. They're nice.